Why do you think the Tanakh is an important guide for processing what we're going through right now?
I don't think there's a Jew in the world who hasn't experienced that shift to different degrees. I personally live in Israel, so my shift, it was the sort of immediate abject fear of everything that was taking place on October 7th. But I think after the dust, to a degree, is beginning to settle. I think what Jews in Israel and Jews throughout the diaspora are sort of coming to terms with, or trying, I guess, to make sense of, is this idea. I remember growing up, my grandmothers who were Holocaust survivors were always saying, the Goyim always hate us. And I would sort of laugh it off and say, Bubby, you're from a different time. But in the back of my head, I sort of had lived with this illusion that, no, we live in America and the world has learned its lessons from the Holocaust. And we celebrate difference here and we have a state and all the other things that we sort of, I think, assumed made us immune to Jewish history to a degree. We woke up a morning and we're back in Jewish history. I think the reckoning almost manifested differently in Israel and in the diaspora. I think in Israel, we sort of always knew what our enemies want to do to us. They've been very clear about it for many, many years. I think the horror was, oh my God, they almost did, right? That was the sort of the trauma. And I think in the diaspora, it was suddenly waking up and saying, hold on a second, you're my enemy? But you work in the cubicle next to me, or I went to medical school. But I think, yes, for me, because I spend so much of my day studying Tanakh, Tanakh is really the lens through which I perceive everything that's happening. Leon Kass has a great line at the beginning of his book on Bereshit. He said, Tanakh is never about what happened. It's about what always happens.